Morning guys, hope you're well. Just wanted to do a quick video. I just want to share something with you guys that I do after either test sets or competitions, or at the end of training cycles really. Some of you might have seen it before, but I just wanted to sort of run through it, show you, get my thoughts on it, get your thoughts on how I feel, but also like say share it. Hopefully it might be a useful tool for you guys. So what it is, it's kind of a reflective practice for kettlebell sport performance, because it's very easy to become just focused on the result. But sometimes we take our eyes off the prize, or we take our eyes off what actually got us to that result in the first place. So sometimes it's just important just to take a step back, reflect, go through everything bit by bit by bit, and then you'll have an understanding of what you can improve going forward and how you can take where you're currently at now and really look for the quick wins. So I've got this sheet. Again, it's something that I print off and I use with my guys, and I use with myself as well. And it just it's not always the easiest thing to do, because sometimes you have to challenge yourself and the way you think, and you sort of have to get out the mindset of beating yourself up a little bit, which is difficult for a lot of people. But it's a massively powerful tool, and it's something that will make a massive difference if you can really get to grips with it and make it work for yourself. So a simple Excel sheet. So this is already on the kettlebell community in the file section, so feel free to check that out. There is a PDF format you can print off and just fill it in your own time. But basically, I'll just recap for those who may not have seen it before. Is I've split it down into 4 sections that I believe are the most important when it comes to the performance circle. Okay, so splitting down into 4 sections of your training, nutrition, sleep, and mindset. And then within then there's subsections that make up what I personally think make up those things. There's obviously little shoot offs, little branch offs, but just as an overall tool, I think it's really good, and it ticks all of the boxes. It really forces you to evaluate. So I'm going to go through that right now. Bear with me. But like I say, I just wanted to sort of show you what it's like to go through it, but also so you have an understanding of how much of a powerful tool it can sort of be, and how you can sort of utilize this in your own training and after your sets, and also maybe something that you can sit down and feed back to your coach, because obviously that coach student relationship is massively powerful. So any additional information that you can give to those guys, I'm sure they'll be massively appreciative, you know. And it just I might help them guys with your programming and the types of sets that you're doing and stuff as well, you know. So it just opens up that them conversations and that communication pathway, which is really important when it comes to athlete and coach relationships. So the first bit is we've got here is you're scoring yourself out of 10. So 1 being terrible, 10 being fantastic. You're not allowed to use a 7 because 7's kind of sat on the fence. What I found with previously doing these types of things, it's very easy just to go 7, 7, 7. It's like, well, I'm not bad, but I'm not great. It's quite an easy way to sit on the fence and sort of not really evaluate yourself and stuff as well. Um, so let's get started, guys. Okay, so I'm just going to jump in, and you're like say, I don't know how it's going to work. I haven't done this this morning yet. I haven't predisposed any of the answers. I just want to share this with you as I go through it in a live scenario. So hopefully you get to see what it's like to go through it. So strength, current strength levels. For myself, I'd score myself an 8, and the reason why is So some of you might know or you might not know. When I look at strength, I look at relative to the individual. Um, but for me, I try and stick to my strength ranges. I try and make sure that consistently my strength levels, I can always squat 1.5 times body weight. So for myself, that is around about a 120 squat, a 160 deadlift, and I also make sure that I can always do 10 reps on chin ups. Uh, just real basic standard strength levels. That's kind of what works for me, because it's quite easy to get sucked into the, well, how strong is strong debate. I think if you just stick some standards that are relative to yourself, I think even if you just want to work on, right, well, I just need to be able to do body weight on squat, body weight on deadlift, or whatever it may be. Everybody's individual, but for me, this is something that I quite like to work towards. So, what I mean here, so what I do to build up strength endurance is I do something called tempo training. Again, something that I picked up from a really knowledgeable performance coach. And basically, we tend to do full body circuits, and they are 2 seconds consistent. So what I mean by that, it's 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, 2 seconds up, 2 seconds down, on a variety of movements. And the reason for that is just because it's training the body just to keep on working constantly. You're working through breathing, and I just found it's a next step up from what we've previously been doing in the gym. But that's a massive challenge for me, and we generally only go for like minute sets. So that's something that my actual strength endurance is probably not as high as what I would like it to be. So that's obviously something that I need to work on, and that's currently where I feel at the moment. And then another additional to that is, um, my body's not quite ready for longer sets with the heavier weights, so 30s and 32s. Um, so I know that I need to really work on my strength endurance, and that specific endurance and stuff will come under that as well, because obviously the main goal is kettlebell sport. So obviously my strength endurance, but specific endurance for the sport. I know I need to improve on that, because I know after yesterday, probably could have pushed a little bit in certain aspects, but I just know that the body was not really prepped or ready just to go for these longer sets. So again, that's something that I need to improve on. So yeah, my heart rate is jumping up at low intensity on the bells and running. Again, this is my perceived intensity. So But that being said, I know that when I am doing my running, my heart rate is quite elevated, even on some relatively slow paces as well. So I know I need to, my cardiovascular endurance needs to improve on that. And also I could feel it. That goes back to the specific endurance. I can't spell there. um, it goes back to my specific endurance. If my cardiovascular endurance is going to come up, then obviously that's a massive component of kettlebell sport. So that'll feed into my strength and specific endurance and stuff as well. So yeah, I've just got myself a 6 on mobility because I could feel a loss of mobility in my T-spine, so that's kind of my thoracic. And after watching the videos of the sets, I can see that I'm not fully extending. So that movement through the arms, as soon as I land in second dip and then stand up, there's quite a significant bit of movement on the arms moving forward. Now, if you watch any of the top lifters, there's always a slight bit of movement, i.e. it goes forward, but that there's a difference between it going forward slightly and a larger movement as well. So that's why I'm scoring myself on that. And for me personally, I feel my technique's strong and solid at the moment in both long cycle and biathlon. Um, I don't feel like I'm a million miles away from where I want to be. That obviously I need to still improve. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it feels strong enough to really get me some really high results, and my goals that I want to work towards. You know, so I'm happy enough with that. So consistently sitting around about 81 kilos, so I'm not always that far away from comp weight. So in terms of my body weight, I'm fairly happy. Okay, body fat's fairly consistent. So again, I'm happy with that. Apologies if my spelling is all over. I've just come back from a run and it is Sunday morning, so I'm fairly tired. So I'm currently not tracking, so I'd already have an idea of where I'm sitting. I don't know if they're good, bad, ugly, or what. I kind of have a feel if I'm getting enough protein or carbs based on my training, but generally speaking, I don't really know. So I'm generally getting in around about 2 litres a day, but not really hitting 3 litres enough, which for my body type and my frequency of training is something that is a must. And I know how good I felt when I do hit 3 litres of water consistently. So yeah, like most people, I have some good days, I have some bad. I really need to improve that post nutrition to maximise recovery. So going back to stuff like aftermath, a post workout supplement. The reason being is because it's convenient, it's quick, it's easy. I know that I'm going to be getting a load of vital nutrients into me straight after training. Nothing really to do about anabolic windows and any of that 1990s type of like methodology. It's more about the fact that sometimes I can train and then I've got stuff to do, so I can get carried away, which then means my post nutrition sometimes falters a little bit. So if I just make sure that I'm consistent in getting a post workout shake into me, I know that I'm at least getting all of the macros, the proteins, the carbs into me post training. And then if I do get distracted, or if I do get pulled away to a different job or whatever it may be, then I know that at least I have got that into me, and I'm not sort of doing myself a disservice from that as well. So again, some days are good, some days are bad, but again, it's consistency again. So generally speaking, I'm waking up on the morning. I'm waking up to an alarm, or I'm doing that annoying thing where you wake up at 3 o'clock when your alarm goes off at 5 o'clock. Um, again, um, it's not enough to support the goals and the recovery. I know that needs to increase because I'm not starting the day. I'm not waking up feeling refreshed or fully rested. I am waking up feeling groggy and still a bit sluggish. So it means that I'm kind of getting woken up from a deep sleep, which means I'm not getting through all of my sleep cycles that my body needs to get through and recover and repair. So yeah, a massive important thing for me. I'm one of these people who goes to bed, and if I don't do my journal, I don't do my breathing exercises to get myself into that state. Um, I sit there, my mind just goes, well, what about this? Should I do this? Should I do that? What about this? What about that? What did this happen today? And it's kind of like just 100 mile an hour. So it's really important that I need to get back onto journaling before, just to get the thoughts out of my head, just make notes of stuff that I need to do the next day, what went well, what I'm hoping for tomorrow. Just getting back into that, so then I know that, well, actually, right, that's all down on piece of paper. I can review that tomorrow. I don't even need to think about it now. I just need to focus on sleep. And then obviously the breathing exercises. That's going to take me from into my stages a lot quicker. My stages of sleep, a lot quicker. So we're going to go from like 1 to 2. Try and speed that process up and just try and bring the heart rate down and just get yourself ready for sleep. So at the moment, my sleep hygiene isn't too bad actually. I've started wearing the blinds in our house. We've got like a street light quite close to our bedroom window, so there's quite a lot of light comes through. But we haven't got blackout blinds, but so that means I do wear an eye mask to block out the light. I've started wearing that a little bit more frequently. My phone isn't in the room, so it's literally it's on charge outside. So as soon as it goes on charge, it's kind of laid right into the bedroom, and that's kind of it. There's no distractions. I try not to watch my phone in bed or any of that sort of stuff. So again, there's no distractions on that one. There's always plenty of books about. So yeah, that's all. I generally do a bit of reading. And sleep with the window open. It's a bit of a pain in the ass when it gets windy, but generally speaking, the temperature of the room is quite optimal, and I've noticed a big difference with that in terms of later stages of the sleep cycle, or the further amount of sleep cycles that I go through. I tend to find that actually by having that room temperature what it currently sits at now, it's making a big difference because I'm not getting disturbed as much by waking up because I'm hot and the core temperature. And if we look at the sleep cycles, which we'll cover in a different subject, this is one of the benefits of sleeping with the window open. So yeah, I'm generally hitting my fat each session, which again helps massively in terms of just focus. I'm infrequently doing my visual exercises, so I really need to get back onto them. But I do hit my concentration grids daily, just to improve that and work on that and develop my concentration. But it's also kind of brain endurance training. We'll discuss that at a later date. But I do generally hit that, and that has been helping quite a bit. So I've got my goals written down. They're on my whiteboard in the office that I'm working in, so I can see them every single day. Um, I review them each day and try and break it down and reverse engineer it. My vision board needs to be created, and then I need to have that in loads of different places because I'm not always in the office. Sometimes I'm working in different spaces, or it just needs to be a constant reminder as soon as I go to bed and then wake up. Again, it's a really powerful tool, so I just need to get that created and put into different places. Annoyingly, it'll probably annoy my partner, and she'll be constantly picking it up and moving it around. But again, it's something that I need. So, like I say, fact is done every single session. What I need to do now is I need to carry that over into a consistent warm up routine. Um, because what I need to do is I need to take the fact and I need to put that into a warm up routine, which then I can do before competition, I can do in the gym. So no matter what happens, as soon as I get ready to go, I know as soon as I start putting on the tying my shoes on my lifting shoes, do the Velcro across, start doing mobility exercises. I know that I'm ready to really hit the sessions ahead. So yeah, that's it. Hopefully that wasn't too painful for you to watch. I'll probably watch the feedback on it. It'll probably do the first couple of minutes, and then it'll just drop off the edge of a cliff on the people who watched it this far. But hopefully, it's been helpful. It certainly helps me massively because I can go up and I can see, well, actually on my training I'm hitting around about 34 out of what should be a 50, and again that's 5, so I'm hitting like a 31 out of 50 sleep. I'm hitting what 15 out of 30, so that's way down. Mindset, again, I'm hitting 24 out of 30. So straight away I've got a bit of a snapshot there on actually sleep's one of the ones that I'm going to have to go to. Could have the biggest impact if I improve those scores and get those up, and I know that I'm going to be all my other training is going to have a massive, it's really going to go through the roof. And then looking down now, well, actually, specific endurance and special endurance, well, that'll build up to the comp. I don't really want to sort of try and improve that. Excuse me, improve that right now, because I know there'll be a bit of a drop off point. So my quick wins are going to be actually, well, I know that I can get back onto consistently doing more CV sessions, and the mobility. So those are the two that'll kind of be my quick wins on that one as well. And a few of these link in. So the mobility routine, that'll go into my warm up routine further down the bottom. So they'll sort of tick a few boxes. We know in nutrition, the best one to focus on there is to start tracking it and follow the guidelines that have been given to a bit more of a stricter T. Pre-sleep routine, obviously that's going to be my go-to now. If I just focus on that, that's probably going to have an impact on me getting to sleep a little bit sooner, so that might elevate the amount of sleep that I'm able to get. So there's some of the areas that I need to improve on for this next cycle that I'm just about to go through. But hopefully what this is giving you guys is an insight on just how powerful it can be, and hopefully by the end you've got some scores there that you might look at and go, do you know what, I didn't even think of that. But also what I would say is just a word of caution is, don't be too hard on yourself, and try and be realistic, because it'd be very easy to go, right, well, my strength is a 2, my specific endurance is a 3, and my CV endurance is a 3, and then you go, well, why is that? Oh, well, my strength is a 2 because the guy next to me is doing 3 times body weight, and I'm not lifting the 24s or the 32s. My strength endurance, my sets are always hard. I always feel like I struggle. Cardiovascular endurance, well, the person who I go running with on the morning, she's so much quicker than me, so my cardio must be rubbish. And that sort of, if you're sort of measuring yourself against other people, then you're always going to sort of give yourself a bit of a disservice. You've got to sort of measure yourself and give yourself some bits of objective feedback. Try and base it on something. So your strength, if you're scoring it a 3, what's that based off? Is that because you used to be able to lift a certain weight, but possibly now you can't? And if you can't, is that having an impact on the bells? So you need to sort of really dig deep on that. This is a couple of times I've been through this, so that'd be my word of advice on that one. And again, as you go through absolutely everything, this isn't an exercise where you're trying to beat yourself up. It's an exercise that is going to hopefully give you a bit of clarity on what you should focus on. Again, I think I've spoke about this before, but it's very easy to try and improve everything in one go and then feel like you're not really improving anything. By doing this exercise, you are looking at where the bigger gaps are, then you plug them. Try and bridge those bigger gaps. Okay, so as soon as you bridge the bigger gaps, you might find that actually it wasn't my strength that was my main issue. It was actually my technique. It wasn't my mobility or whatever it may be. You find yourself you're not. That's not the issue that you thought it was. If you just go for the quick wins. Now, if I when I focus on my macros and I do this again, and then I really start tracking that, and I'm really diligent and disciplined with them, then I might find that sleep improves and my endurance actually improves. And all of these things might elevate and increase. And it wasn't the fact that actually my strength endurance felt low. It might be the fact that I was way under on what the amount of carb intake I should be having. I was way under on the protein intake, so I wasn't recovering. So actually, when I was doing the tempo, I was gassing because I was already fatigued. All of these things, can have a massive impact. So I really try and spend some time going through this, and again, sit down with your peers or a coach and share the feedback with them, because again, it's a massively valuable tool. It's not easy, but I think by doing it, again, you've got something that you can focus on, but also you get to see actually the path that you're on, and hopefully you get to see, well, everything links to each other. It's not right. Well, training's that's parked. I've done my training. Okay, now I've got work, and then that's parked, and I put that there, and my nutrition's done. And it's all one continuum. Okay, so I really hope this has helped, guys. If you have watched for the 32 minutes, I can talk some rubbish sometimes, but hopefully you found it really helpful, guys. I find it massively helpful, and actually there's some good stuff on there that, yeah, if I just start focusing on those, then I can see some massive wins coming my way very soon. And sometimes you just need to go back that, regardless of what level you're at. Sometimes you just need to sit back and evaluate what you need to be able to do to try and prove that and get that going forward. So hopefully you found that helpful, guys, and we'll speak soon.